What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Millionaire Locator, where I give you the hidden gems on how to be successful as a realtor working in the rental market and with apartment locating in 2026. Today's discussion is why should every realtor, especially every new realtor, should be doing apartment locating or working with the rentals. Now, if you do not know, my name is Sterling Wooten. I created the Millionaire Locator and Rich Off Apartments as I teach a lot of different realtors throughout the nation exactly how to be successful with rentals and apartment locating. So today, why should you, if you're not already working with locating, why should you get started? Let me ask you this. When you moved out of your parents' house or whoever you lived with growing up, what was the first thing you did? Did you go buy a home or did you rent an apartment or rent a house somewhere? Exactly. You most likely rented somewhere before you bought anything. And 90% of people in the marketplace are ready to rent before they're ready to buy. But 90% of realtors are trying to sell homes. They're trying to get listings. They're trying to get the big commission checks, leaving 90% of the marketplace untapped because they're just focusing on this 10% of people who are actually qualified and ready to buy at this instance. So when you have this gold mine of people that aren't being touched, they're having to find their rentals on their own, use apartments.com, they can come to a trusted realtor to get their exact desire and needs within an apartment. Now, when I noticed this is when it blew my mind. There's so many people that are not being helped out. It is a numbers game with apartment locating. So my first month doing this, again, I was with Keller Williams. I was with a traditional broker, still selling homes at the same time. But I helped a couple friends find apartments. One of them, the rent was $1,800. That complex paid me 100%, so that was $1,800. And another person got a rent for $2,500, and it was 100% right there too. So just within that week, I'm like, whoa, this is $4,000 just within a week on helping somebody find an apartment. So then I started to change my strategies a little bit on social media, on my marketing, on how I approach people. I stopped doing open houses. I stopped doing things to sell homes. And I said, let me see how consistently I can do this if I start being a locator, start saying I'm an apartment realtor, So first month was that, just those two clients. Then after the switch for my marketing, I made $18K. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand. Why aren't people doing this? Why aren't people talking about locating? And this is when a switch went off my mind that I'm going to focus just on locating. And if I sell homes, I sell homes. But if I can average at least 2 to 3 leases a week, and let's say my average commission is about $1,500 on apartments. Remember, most people are renting every day versus buying a home every day. If you sit in an apartment complex, you will see people coming to tour all throughout the day. And that's just commission. And again, it is a numbers game, but once you lease somebody out, once you take care of them after they move in, stay in touch with them, send them a gift when they move in, just staying in touch, being more than just a transaction. When they're ready to buy a home, who do you think the first person they're going to call? Is that person that got them to that rental, that person that took care of them at the initial jump, that wasn't really worried about having a perfect credit score, the perfect income, the perfect everything. You helped them find that rental and that apartment. So my second year doing real estate, I still was doing locating, but I sold over 8 homes, but I sold 4 of those homes to people that leased with me before because they trust me, they're ready to buy a home. I put them in a position by following up, putting them in a pipeline to make sure that I'm staying top of mind, and I was following up with them throughout the whole year because I know these were clients most likely able to buy that just weren't ready at that time. So I put in a plan, make sure that I was staying in touch, and then it came the next year, they're ready to buy, and they reached out to me. So this is exactly why I think you should definitely look into locating if you're not already looking to locate. Now, renters can pretty much creating more of a consistent income versus buying. Again, like I said, 90% of people in the marketplace are ready to rent, and getting rental leads is it's a whole lot easier to get a buyer lead. So again, I use a lot of different platforms: Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, TikTok, anything you could think of, YouTube, to get leads. And from here, all the leads that come in, I stay in contact with them. I reach out to them, send apartment lists every day. I do lead generation every day. And just because it's a volume of people, you're able to close people a lot quicker, and it's again, higher number of people. So if you're getting a lot of volume of leads coming in, you're closing them at a nice rate, you're going to make a decent amount, especially if you're in a market such as Texas, like Houston, Austin, or Dallas, where the commissions, where the rent is right, a minimum, let's say average 1,500. And again, that is very low. That's low end. Mine is probably around 1,800, and I close around 12 to 18 deals a month. So you can do the math. Now, you see how this can be more consistent because 90% of people are ready to rent before they're ready to buy. I just can't emphasize that enough, So if you are watching this and someone's telling you, hey, I think locating is a waste of your time, please just spit out the numbers to them, because this is something I had to go through. I had a mentor that was helping me sell homes when I first got started. We fell out because she thought I was wasting my time and I was wasting her time. 2 years later, she reached out to me asking about apartment locating, because people just seeing exactly the traction I had going on, and she wanted to see what exactly it was, but she didn't understand it from the jump, which I understand is something different. But again, don't listen to the outside noise. I'm telling you guys, it's something that is definitely overlooked in the real estate market. Apartment locating is definitely one of the fastest ways for new agents to get experience, to get confident, and to build up your rapport. Now, again, if you're newer, and you're also kind of younger as well, going to somebody that's looking to buy a home, you may not be the most confident, and you may get overlooked just because of your age and the confidence as well. Now, take age out of it anyway. Just the confidence in itself. When you're able to close multiple deals, you're able to get a idea of how to talk to clients, how to close clients. Because you can close locators, you can close renters, you can close sales, 100%. It's honestly, if you can close a lot of rental deals, that means you can close a lot of sales deals. It's pretty much the same thing. If you're able to get that client's needs, get them to the table, get what they want, close them, you do the same thing on the other side. And the last thing that I do want to touch on in this video about why you should start apartment locating is probably one of my favorite reasons about apartment locating. So if you know me, if you follow me on social media, you know that I travel around the world. I travel very often. I take about 4 trips a year. That's once each quarter, and I'm across the world. I'm literally in a whole different time zone, a whole different continent, but I'm still able to close multiple deals throughout the week. Again, I'm not closing them at a higher rate because I am on vacation, I'm having fun, I'm not worried about work. But the fact that I have systems in place, I understand the game, I'm still able to make $3,000 to $5,000 a week just by apartment locating, because with locating, you do not have to be there in person. You're sending your clients, let me not say that. There are some apartments, maybe 10%, 5% of apartments require you to be there in person to get paid. But if you're able to build rapport with those clients, those apartments, they may even accept a FaceTime tour, that you being on FaceTime with the client while they're touring, or did you just send in a guest card and they know you send a lot of clients there, they may even let it slide. But again, make sure you build that rapport and you're verifying that before you go out the country somewhere trying to get paid for that escort, okay? But anyways, all you have to do is send your client to these apartment complexes, and your client listens your name saying, hey, this is my realtor, and then you get paid from the complex. And it doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to tour that person. You don't have to tour that apartment at all. As long as you are in contact with the complex, you're in contact with your client, you're going to get paid. And that's the great thing about locating. I built a virtual real estate business, a multiple six-figure business, almost 7, virtually, all from content, from apartment locating, and from systems. Now, if you have good content, you know exactly how to bring in leads, how to record videos, how to record apartments, how to give free advice to people for them to want to work with you, how to build your omnipresence. That is your online presence, constantly being top of mind, posting videos on multiple different platforms on a daily basis. This is why people should get into locating, because it is a hidden gem to where you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, and you do not have to do as much work as possible. You don't have to be the smartest person in the book. You don't have to work with a lot of different paperwork. It's just systems in place, getting those leads, being consistent with your lead generation, and closing those deals. I like to say the 3 C's. This is what I tell my agents all the time is creativity. Be creative with your message. Be creative with yourself. Be creative in how you present your business. Be confident. Be confident in whatever you're saying, how you present, how you talk. Be confident. And last but not least, be consistent in all those categories. You want to be consistent. You can be all the other 2, but if you're not consistent, it does not matter. Consistency is what helps it all stick, by doing it daily, doing it on an everyday basis. Now, if you want to know exactly the systems and the breakdown exactly how to be successful in apartment locating with working with rentals, please check out the Millionaire Locator. I will leave the link below. It is the ebook on how I'll give you a brief breakdown on apartment locating and how to be successful as well. Now, if you want a full breakdown, series, training, modules, different scripts that you can use to be successful, if you're even a new agent or already experienced, I will give you tons of different strategies on how to be successful in apartment locating. Please check out Rich Off Apartments, as everything is broken down within this course on how to exactly be successful and to build a multiple six-figure business in apartment locating. So thank you all for watching this video. Stay blessed by the blessed, and see you next time.